And welcome to our Thursday morning edition of Mornings with Luann and Tim. Survived Halloween. How many kids? Oh, you were busy, so you weren't even home.
No.
You were singing or trying to. Whoa! I got 6 kids.
What?
6? Usually get 2. 6. So yeah, I'm popular in my neighborhood now.
I saw Riley last night. Riley, and she said, Riley Smith, who works here, and she said that Rob, my nephew, her partner, was out of candy before I even sang the anthem, and that was 7 o'clock.
Oh no! Really?
Yeah, and when I was leaving my house, like driving down to the gardens, like so many kids.
Really?
Like wild.
Apparently not in my neighborhood.
Yeah, no, looked like it was a great night for Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't rain. It was temperate.
Beautiful. A little bit windy, but awesome. Nice and warm. And so tell me about O Canada.
Well, okay, it wasn't just O Canada. Pardon me. Now, I'm going to use that as my excuse for what happened last night.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. I'd never sung in the GFL Center before.
Ever?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I can't recall. But I'm old. So anyway, when I went in at 4 o'clock, it's like for a sound check, but it really is just sort of to talk in the microphone. The guy's not there to play your music or anything, so you don't get an actual rehearsal.
So it's not a sound check.
Well, not really. So anyway, but I got to at least get a sense of the microphone and how loud I was going to be.
Does it bounce back to you?
Well, yeah.
Oh, it does, huh?
So anyway, I think a lot of anthem singers sing a cappella, and now I know a cappella meaning without accompaniment, and now I know why, because I brought accompaniment like on a flash drive, and so the music started,
right?
Da 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 da, because you have to do the American anthem first, because it was Flint. By the way, I'm really happy to report that the Greyhounds did far better at hockey than I did at singing. They won 5-2.
Awesome.
No thanks to me.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a very exciting game. However, let's get back to me.
Because it's been a second.
So the music starts, and then I start to sing, and I completely drowned out the accompaniment. I couldn't hear the accompaniment. So I'm just like singing, thinking, I hope I'm with the music. And I wasn't.
No.
It was like a bad Japanese film. And so then I get to one point in the song, and
you were Godzilla.
I certainly was. So I get to one point in the song, and I finally, it's like a break in the song, and I listen, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like a full 2 bars ahead of the music. So I sort of just stood there and waited until the accompaniment caught up, and then I launched back into it. So I'm thinking, okay, now I'm okay. I'm back on track. And then there's a really big final note, and I sang it, and I thought, there, okay, locked and loaded, great, happy. I watched that video back. That last note that I hit it right. I was bing, and then I went, and I was flat, and I was belting, and it was loud, and it was just under pitch. And to me, when I heard it back, it was like fingernails on a chalkboard.
Oh.
I'm telling you right now, they played that video at the border in the south at Mexico.
Yeah.
People from the caravan have turned back and gone back to Honduras.
They're like, yeah, no, I'll deal with whatever.
I sang the national anthem so badly that I have jeopardized the North American Free Trade Agreement.
I don't think it's as bad as you think.
Oh, I got a phone call from Roseanne Barr, and she said, nice try.
You know what? You're always your own worst
They took
critic.
my passport back. So, so then we get to the Canadian national anthem.
good.
Well, yes, locked and loaded. So,
in French.
And if I watch the video and you can see me turn, and because Riley works there,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So I turn back and I look at Riley and I go, can they turn the music up? No, they can't. So then, the Canadian anthem went pretty well. Except I've been rehearsing at home, and I was like, frickin' top note, man, that last note. And I wasn't hitting it. I wasn't getting it at home. I've got this rasp, and I just was cracking on the note. And I thought, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to put it up there into the hands of the hockey gods. I didn't score. So, no, the last note I cried. It was kind of like Tarzan singing the Canadian national anthem.
That's why they asked me to do the next game.
Okay, so I kind of hoped, and you know what they do is I wasn't prepared for this either. Before we even get to the last note, they all start banging their sticks on the ice.
Oh, so now you can't hear nothing.
Well, not just that, it kind of startled me, so it was like, it was kind of like Ethel Merman sings, The good news is I got the French right, so now I have to move to Quebec.
Don't let him sing, even in Quebec. Don't let him.
And then they're going to separate. So
no, I'm sure it's not anywhere near as
well,
bad
I'd just like to say thank you for the opportunity. And I think it's time for me to revisit my national anthems and maybe just try it in a lower key. I got this ego thing, and I still want to be that young tenor, and I'm not. I'm not the man I used to be. How are you, Luann?
I'm good, thank you. Yes.
That's enough about me. Let's talk about you.
Well then, I had 6 kids for Halloween. Did I tell you?
Yeah, you gave birth to 6 children at Halloween.
Yeah, yeah, there it was.
Spooky.
Today is World Vegan Day.
Okay, so go eat some broccoli.
Yeah. Vegan is like hardcore though. Like no dairy.
You can't have anything that comes from a live animal. A live anything.
Like an egg.
No, you can't have an egg.
You can't have an egg.
You can't have milk.
Anything that
You can have
grows,
almond milk.
You can have
Anything
almond milk.
Anything that
but
lives.
then almond milk tastes like there's grit in it. I'm sorry, I've tried it.
Here she goes.
Because
again
I
with
think
the
that it's
texture.
probably a little bit healthier for you. But there's some stuff when you're, and it's hanging on to the sides of your throat.
What are you talking about right now?
In the almond milk, there's the powdery, almondy chunks of something in there. It's nasty.
Again with the chunks and the textures.
Right?
At breakfast.
Make it smooth. Milk is smooth, people. There's no bumps and lumps in milk.
Well, yes, there are. If it's bad.
Well, yeah, but then I'm not drinking it. Or if it's cottage cheese.
I think veganism is a very good thing.
I do too. It's very healthy, apparently.
It is.
You got to be disciplined, though. Could you do it?
Absolutely not.
No, me neither. I need a burger once in a while.
Oh.
Eh? And chicken. I eat chicken every day. Every single.
Steak,
Every day.
chicken, pork, fish, eggs. I like all things alive. I would eat you right
Cheese.
now if I had a little bit of ketchup.
You need a lot of ketchup, honey.
Well,
I'm just
okay.
saying. Did you see J-Lo's dress? Her latest dress?
I wasn't watching TV. I was hiding.
Oh, my word.
What's it look like?
Well, it's not actually a dress.
Okay, it's a couple
cape.
of Band-Aids.
It's a cape. So she was wearing the cape. It's a 2-paneled cape. And she, at one point, at one event, wore it as the cape. The next event, she wore the cape, the one panel in the front, the one panel in the back. Honest to goodness, she had to hold some stuff down. Cause
What was it bare on the sides?
So like
She's
bare,
probably got
like
a nude stocking
open,
on underneath, no?
open this wide. Like you could, she had side cleavage, which is, God bless her, she has a boob
side
that-
cleavage is when you see the side of the boob?
Yes. And a nice flat tummy, looked absolutely awesome. But I swear to goodness, if she would have moved an inch, you would have seen her petunia. You would have. You would have seen them. It would have been like, "Hi, I'm J-Lo." Seriously, stunning, stunning long legs though. So she called and asked if she could borrow it, and I said, "Okay." Again, J-Lo. She won't leave me alone, But it was lovely on her. I wore it a little bit better.
As a scarf.
As an anklet. I think it's nicer when you have some texture, like, stretch marks on your stomach.
Nothing
And
like
then-
a little cottage cheese.
right? And
I
then, of
always
course,
say.
my side cleavage was down by my knee. So, she was trying to emulate me, but she couldn't do it.
She could not do it.
She just couldn't do it, poor girl. I feel bad for her. She's got nothing going for her, She's ugly. She can't sing.
Can't dance.
She can't dance.
Can't
She has an
act.
ugly boyfriend.
Yeah,
no money.
No money.
God, I feel that's why I lend her my stuff.
It's hard being
So
J-Lo.
it is.
You know who's got money?
Who's got money, honey?
Adrian frickin' Clarkson.
Apparently.
Oh, she's the
Whoa.
former Governor General of Canada. Did you know that Governor Generals never retire? That's what they say. They say Governor Generals never really
Sounds like
retire.
the start of a joke, doesn't it?
Governor Generals don't die. They just never retire.
Never retire.
She will get money for as long as she's alive. So their pension's quite amazing. She's received $1.6 million in pension since she retired in, when did she leave? 2005. She left Rideau Hall in 2005.
And she's made that much money.
In her pension. But on top of that, they're allowed up to, without even having to do an audit, $100,000 a year in expenses. Now you might ask yourself, what kind of expenses might a retired
Governor General
need? Well, apparently they have to have offices and staff because they still do things
They
in the
still
public.
do speaking engagements that they get
Right.
paid for.
So since 2005, Adrian Clarkson has billed the government of Canada $1,119,362 in expenses for travel, accommodation, office expenses. And when asked if they could break that down and tell us how they spent the money, her office refused to answer the question, and they said there is The executive assistant described her claims as a private matter between her office and Rideau Hall.
Oh my goodness.
And she was not available for comment because she's on a weeks-long trip in Europe. Anyway, there's little public transparency, and now it's been exposed by the National Post, and because of the Post media article, Trudeau has now been forced to come out and say that he will review the supports that are offered to governors general.
I'm going to the Employment Connection offices to see if it's on their bulletin board because I want to apply for that job.
Apply for that job.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
My goodness. Who's on the show today? Quick.
I'll tell you, yeah. Stephen Mallinger is coming in later on the show to talk about St. Luke's, I think, today. But there's also another concert he has coming up, so it's one of the two things. And then also, first up, I have an interview that I recorded with the OPP about ATV safety in the fall.
Awesome. Oh, perfect timing.
And Luann has news as well, so don't go anywhere. Lots more to come on Morning with Luann and Tim.
Oh, stop it.
And these are the hands we give up. Use them, let's start trying.
Joined in the studio by Constable Terry Chitteroni from the OPP. Welcome, Terry. Welcome to ONNtv.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. We are here to talk about off-road vehicles, specifically ATVs. And the time of year is, hunting season. I mean, it's fall. People are going out in their ATVs to enjoy the beautiful fall colors. But there's some certain things that people need to be aware of as far as safety goes, right, Terry?
Yeah, definitely. And it's not that it's a heightened awareness at fall time and hunt time. However, we do see more ATVs on the trails now because there is hunt season around.
It does increase, ridership increases?
It definitely does, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk first of all, right off the bat, what are the major causes of injuries or even deaths on all-terrain vehicles?
Well, priority number one is driver experience.
Driver experience.
We're seeing someone who's just getting into hunting at an elderly age. They get onto an ATV and they haven't been on. That's probably our major factors.
Okay.
They don't understand what the ATV does do.
Or someone who's not an experienced driver takes a curve too fast. They're driving too fast for their abilities to handle a curve.
100%. Yeah, and that comes with experience, right?
You got to know what you can.
You got to know what you're doing when you're on the ATV. Exactly. So, I mean, if there's a case like that, obviously, an ATV safety course for someone who doesn't have the driver experience would be fantastic.
That's what this great booklet. This great booklet. I wonder who designed this booklet. Oh, it was me at my old job, along with Monique Baker, Sergeant Monique Baker. Anyway, this booklet's available at the
OPP station.
At the OPP station.
Yes.
I would imagine we probably still have some at Algoma Public Health too, if you want to stop by there and pick them up. So it does say, one of the first things, recommendation for fun, safe ride is take an ATV safety course.
Exactly.
Do you know where they offer those? I don't know. Sioux College has a course, but I think that's just for their people who take the M&R course. We have to look into that.
We will look into
Find
that.
out.
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously, that one would be one of our priorities. Speed is another priority.
Speed is another killer.
Which is another killer. Impairment. Obviously, drugs or alcohol.
Right.
Even fatigue. Fatigue falls under impairment as well, right?
ATV fatigue, I guess maybe as you go out and you spend a longer time than you anticipated, you're coming back, the sun's setting, it could be.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously when people are hunting, the number one cause during the hunt season is wearing no helmets.
No helmets?
No helmets, because they're hunting, they want to be able to jump off the ATV quickly and maybe, see their game or find their game.
You think in this day and age? We all know enough.
Definitely, sure, right.
There's specific helmets too, right? You have to get a specifically rated helmet for your ATV.
Yes, it's mandated. It's got to be DOT approved. Yes.
And wherever you go to purchase your helmet, those people will help you get the helmet that you need.
100%.
Right on.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we know that these are the major causes. So now when it comes to actual driver safety and tips and that sort of thing, actually let's get to that a little later. What confuses a lot of people, I think, Terry, are the actual laws around ATVs.
Right.
Okay,
right.
So let's define a highway first of all, because a lot of people think, I can drive, it says I can drive on a highway, blah, blah, blah. And they're thinking highway being what we think is a highway, a major like Highway 17. But according to the Ministry of Transportation and the OPP, a highway is
a roadway with public access.
That's it, folks, a roadway with public access.
Yes.
All right, so a street in Sault Ste. Marie is considered a highway by the Ministry of Transportation.
It is, yes.
Okay.
So in our area, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm glad that you were able to bring me on your show to kind of explain some of the highways that people believe as are highways that are allowed to have ATVs alongside of them.
Right.
Not on them, but they're allowed to ride alongside them.
So where do people think they can ride alongside where they really can't?
There's been a misconception out north along Highway 17.
Highway 17 North.
Highway 17 North, that is prohibited to be alongside
You
of.
cannot drive on the shoulder.
You cannot drive on the shoulder.
And one other thing that was interesting that we talked about was that a highway is considered from tree line to tree line.
It is considered from tree
So
line
even
to tree line.
off the road, even that sort of area beyond the shoulder, maybe a ditch area, that could be considered highway. So just keep that in mind.
Yes, exactly.
So no driving along the shoulder of the road on the highway. No.
Not along Highway 17.
No.
No. However, under the laws, it permits ATV operators to drive along the 500 series highways.
500 series. Oh, so if you're going out towards the airport, like second line, that's a 500 highway, 550 whatever.
Any 500 series highway, you're allowed to do it. And there's going to be different bylaws as well. This we fall under that as well. So if you're on second line, it doesn't turn into a highway till it gets out to the city limits.
Okay.
So that's where that kind of falls under place. So you have to know your laws before you go out there.
You gotta know where you're riding.
You got to know where you're riding. 100%. And one of the things we do as policing is not just enforce laws. We provide information to the public as well.
All right.
Some of them don't know. They don't know
Sure.
where they are, and that's what we're doing right here. We're providing information for operators who are on ATVs and believe, because they've heard the new laws being changed that you can ride along certain highways. Oh, I can ride along any highway.
Right.
Well, that's not in fact. So we have to make sure that the public is aware of that.
And then we're here. We are in Sault Ste. Marie, and we're surrounded by townships. Some of them organized and some unorganized. So, like Prince Township, Echo Bay, these kinds of places. Those municipalities are going to have their own can have their own bylaws.
Yes,
And
and don't get those. Sorry, Tim.
Yeah, go.
Don't get those confused, because if you're on the highway, that's a provincial highway.
Okay.
When you enter and you go on a township street, that's where those rules will change.
So if I'm on Walls Road as opposed to the 550 whatever,
Exactly.
I'm going to have a different. And so there's a driver's responsibility.
That's right.
To research the bylaws in the area in which they are planning on riding.
Exactly.
So just get on your computer and just Google your bylaws for ATV, and won't take you 5 minutes, and you'll stay on the right side of the law.
Exactly. Hopefully.
And well, hopefully, and also you'll stay on the right side of safety, because the laws are there for safety.
That's right.
All right, so crossing a highway. This is a big one. People think they can just cross the highway. If you're 15 years old and you're riding in your field and you decide to go across the highway, no.
No, and the laws apply as the same. If you're riding along a highway, you need to be at least 16 years old as an operator.
So you can't be on the shoulder unless you are
16 years old, and you have a minimum of a G2 or an M2 license. Those are the operator laws for you to be alongside a highway that you're allowed to be traveling on.
All right.
To cross a highway, so if you come from a bush trail and you need to go across a highway, which is a roadway, which is a public access road, you need to be at least 16 years old with an M2 or G2 license to cross that highway.
And insurance.
And you need insurance.
The only time you don't need insurance is when you're on your own property.
When you're on your own property. As soon as
You
you
go
leave
off
the
your property, you have to have insurance.
Exactly, yes.
All right. Now, can you cross the highway with a young person on the vehicle with you?
That's a great question. So it's a great question. So if you're on a Crownland trail, a bush trail, let's call it a bush trail,
Right on.
you can have a passenger under the age of 8 years old.
You can.
You can.
Okay.
However, if you're going to cross that highway, you cannot have a passenger under the age of 8 years old when you're going to cross a highway or you drive alongside.
It does get tricky.
It does get tricky on that one.
So what you are expected to do, just so we're clear, you're going to leave your vehicle on one side of the road. You're going to safely take your child across that roadway, get them on the other side, and then you're going to bring your vehicle over.
Yes.
Because
Under law.
Under the law, yes. Okay. Because it would be a terrible thing if you happen to be crossing, you're on the highway with your child on an ATV and you were to get hit.
Yes. And for
At least if you're walking, you can see what's coming.
and there's lots of simple reasons for that as well, right? You have a young child and they do slip off in the bushway.
All right.
It's not a big deal.
So let's
that's
talk about just now. Let's talk general safety tips.
Yes.
We know you have to have the helmet. Now it's fall season. People might be going out to hunt. Things can happen. You're in the bush.
Yes.
Got to be prepared.
You have to be prepared, and that's the one thing. I mean, people are going greater distances because they're going for game. They might get on a trail and they want to go further out into the open to find their game. We recommend that the number one priority is to make sure you're letting someone know where you are going to go.
That's a good rule for anybody, anytime.
It is.
Tell them where you're going.
It's a priority. Number two, have a survival kit with you.
Absolutely.
Making sure that you've got warm clothing, you've got fire, you've got water, you've got supplies to, maybe for meals, some sort of maybe it's called an SOS spot.
Oh yeah, or a flare or something.
A flare, GPS. Just make sure that you have something that if you do get stuck in the bush overnight, that you have something to take care of yourself and your passenger, not just for yourself.
Great. Hunters tend to go out sometimes in gangs, and you go, as you were saying, you take your child out for a ride, you go out with your wife and kids, whatever, for a ride. Different scenario from when you're going out to spend a couple nights in the bush with either the guys or the girls and you're going hunting. Sometimes there's substances involved, alcohol, perhaps other things, but alcohol, drugs, whatever. What do we have to be careful of?
It's the main factor, impairment. Guys are at hunt camp, they're having a good time with their buddies, and that's the one thing that we see that heightens.
Hey, let's go for a late night hunt. No,
exactly.
Not if you've been using any kind of substance. Don't do it.
Exactly.
And don't separate and get lost. Tell your buddies where you're going. And if I'm not back by this time, come look for me.
Exactly. Give them
Have a
time
plan.
when you should be back.
Have a plan. Have a plan. And if you want more information, you know where to find the OPP. You can find these booklets at the OPP and at Algoma Public Health. You can go online. We're going to put a thing up on, there's a, what do you call that? A link.
A link.
There's a link, and it goes to the Ministry of Transportation website, and that will also give you all the ATV information you could possibly need. So stay safe. Terry, again, thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us. You're welcome back anytime.
Awesome. Thanks very much.
And we'll come back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this.
Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby, where I...
And welcome back. So if you missed the opening, Tim was talking about how brutal he was last night at the hockey game singing the anthems. And I trust him, so you're brutal, huh?
But I also said the wrong score. I said 5, I meant 9.
It's 9-3.
I didn't know I said
It was
5.
9-3. The Hounds beat the Flint people. Such a sports person. The Hounds beat the Flint team 9-3. He said 5-2. He was wrong. He can't sing. He doesn't do hockey.
I can't sing, I can't add. How was the game, Tim? I don't know. There's a bunch of guys on skates, and there's this little black thing flying all over the place. It was busy.
Yeah, and it was busy, and sticks were flying everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. I want to be a Kardashian in my next life. My goodness. You know how, of course, all over Twitter, all over the entertainment sites this morning, it's all about the celebrities and what they did for Halloween.
Oh, of course.
Right? Yeah. So that, Prime Minister Trudeau and his kids.
He was
and
Sherlock
wife
Holmes.
Yes, he was.
Maybe he
very
could figure
cute.
out how the government works.
The Kardashians, just 'cause all the sisters got together for a photograph and used the Victoria's Secret angel wings and hardly no clothes on.
Oh, yeah.
And they were the original, like the authentic.
They actually got the stuff.
Yeah, the Victoria's Angels heard that they wanted to do this, so they just sent over the wings. Like Kim Kardashian, God bless America, she's worked out. They all look stunning.
I think you spend too much time looking at not beautiful. What was this? Shapely, wealthy. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, see, look at that.
See, okay, but see, we're going to have this conversation
But
again.
now they're gorgeous.
But Luann, once again, if you had that kind of money and didn't have to do anything all day long, but eat well and work
Being
out and
rich
have a
doesn't mean you're skinny and fit. You still have to do that work.
This is what they made a career out of. They
Yes.
made a career out of looking like that.
But they still have to do the hard work.
Of looking like that.
Yes, of looking like that.
But that's their job.
Yes.
They don't do anything else.
Well, they run businesses. Kim Kardashian. I can't believe I'm defending the Kardashians.
You said, well, because you want to be one when you grow up.
Yeah, no, my next life.
Oh, next life.
I'm coming back, yeah.
Coming back as a Kardashian? I'll probably come back as Caitlyn Jenner.
Sounds about right. But today's the first day.
November.
Poppy campaign sort of starts officially
Is that officially today?
Yeah. And you know what? Every year since I've been in the media, you put the poppy on the left side because it's over your heart.
Okay.
Now, some people don't know that.
Okay.
Some, younger people, older people forget. Some people put them in their ball caps. People get all insulted and stuff. You know what? If somebody is wearing a poppy, right on. I mean, there's a certain way to wear it, but if you don't know it or you don't like it, you want to still honor our veterans.
Just wear your
Good for
poppy with
you.
pride. Doesn't
know.
matter where you wear. Well, I mean, it's yeah.
It's on the left side over your heart, but
Well, I've seen people with poppies on their hats and
Right.
stuff, and I don't. Okay.
I think people who have piercings, like Keith, should have them all over his face.
Luann.
Right, Keith? Don't you think?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
You're gonna get letters.
He would do that,
You're gonna get in trouble.
We
For
are.
a change, it's not me, it's her.
Yeah, it's not me. I'm not disrespecting. I'm just playing.
No, you're just playing
But
around.
poppies are very important, so please wear one.
Hey, the RCMP remember the story about was it Marketplace? The CBC Marketplace went to India, and they were trying to find those people who make the phone calls about the
Yeah.
Canada revenue scam, and they did locate some of them and stuff, and they exposed them, and they were like chasing them through the streets and things. And then
Really?
Yeah, the Marketplace people. But then it got dangerous. They thought they might have weapons and stuff because it got.
Oh, no.
It's really like nasty. So then the president. I don't even know. But anyway, he said, first I heard of it, didn't know there was a problem. RCMP never contacted me to tell me this was an issue in our country.
Right.
Well, guess what? Since that Marketplace thing, the RCMP actually went and they worked with the Indian government, and they have arrested 28 people in one sweep only, and it's continuing on. And so now they're aware of it, and there might even be some compensation for the victims.
Good.
So it's in the works now,
Good,
thanks
good.
to the RCMP.
You know what,
Thanks
though?
to Marketplace. Thanks to the reporters.
Also, thanks to ONNtv's Top Story, because we talked to Sunny Spina, who actually went through the scam on the telephone and recorded it for us to educate you on how to deal with these people. So it wasn't Marketplace.
It was us and
It was
Sunny
Top
Spina.
Story on TV.
Okay, so
Yes.
now you have the news next.
I do have the news.
Speaking of Top Story and the news, Luann is coming up after the break, so pour yourself another cup of coffee and sit down and get ready. It's Luann and the news next on ONNtv's Mornings with Luann and Tim. Long sentence.
Yeah, I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. Almost years ago, you were the one who imagined it all those years ago.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and it's time to do a draw.
Woohoo! For what?
Woohoo! Greyhounds take on the Guelph Storm on Friday, November the 2nd at the GFL Memorial Gardens, and we have 2 tickets that were up for
Nice.
grabs.
Gosh.
Yeah,
nice
Trina
prize.
posted it on Sue Online, and I guess it was also on TV. There was a contest. We had over 250 responses.
Thank you very much for playing along.
Thanks for playing along. So these are 2 tickets to the home game, Greyhound Hound Power versus Guelph, Friday, November the 2nd, Section 116, Row J, seats 4 and 5.
And if you win it, you have to say Hound Power.
Hound Power.
Yeah, that.
And I will not be there to sing the national anthem, so it'll be fine.
So it'll be
Luann,
good.
you want to reach in there and pull out our name. Oh my gosh.
Congratulations, Ashley Elizabeth. Woohoo!
She was number 189 of the 251 entries. Ashley Elizabeth, congratulations. You have won yourself 2 tickets to the home game, Greyhounds, 2 Greyhounds versus Guelph.
And he's not singing the anthem,
Guelph
so
Storm.
you'll have a great time.
You'll have a great time.
It'll be so much fun for
Maybe
you. And the Hounds are going to win.
Maybe the score will be 9-3 again.
Yes, again.
As opposed to
or
5-2.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know, as long as they win.
How does she get these tickets? Ashley, I guess you were going to call here. I don't know. How did you enter? Call us at Sue Online, 705-942-4444.
Or come by. We're at 116 Industrial Park Crescent.
Yeah, we're probably going to take a picture with you getting your tickets. So
Yeah.
anyway, congratulations,
Have
Ashley
a great
Elizabeth.
time.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So, now what?
Now you forgot your notes.
What notes?
You were going to talk about some other stuff.
I have other stuff I could talk about.
Yeah,
like the
like
lady.
what?
Well, the ladies who are getting. Okay, so there's this one lady. She lives in, I think it was Winnipeg.
Oh, this is bad.
Okay, so she and her husband split up. Okay.
Right.
And one day she wakes up in her bedroom and she looks at the wall in her master bedroom and she's like, I don't remember there being an electrical outlet there before. So she goes over and she starts to inspect and she realizes it's a false outlet and her estranged husband, who was abusive, has installed a camera in behind the plug. It wasn't the only one. There was one in the living room as well. He'd been taping her in her home. And she was Pakistani. She had a friend over.
Yes.
He videotaped their sexual acts.
Oh my.
She went to the police.
Good for her.
He was charged with all kinds of stuff like voyeurism, break and enter,
Invasion
all
of
this
privacy, all of
stuff.
that, yeah.
He's charged. So then her family back in Pakistan gets a phone call from his family back in Pakistan.
Oh, no.
Who says, our son has sent us the tapes that he made of your daughter having sex with a white man. Then they go on to describe the sexual positions that she used, and said that they were going to blackmail her all over social media in Pakistan, that she would, if she ever came back, she'd be stoned to death for adultery. And yeah. So now
Stop it.
Yeah. So
did she go to the police with that part too? Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. Because really, you know what?
Can you imagine?
That's she should be stoned. What? This is 2018, people. My goodness.
And threatening to put all those images up and ruin her.
You know what,
reputation back home.
If I was her, I'd go, yeah, get it done.
So there's another similar story. Now this happened in the US, but it's not apparently uncommon. Estranged marriage broke up, nasty. Husband's out of the house, wife is in the house. They have a smart system. All your phones, your lights, your blinds, your air conditioning, your everything is all controlled.
Right.
He had control over the system. He kept overriding it. And so in the middle of the night, suddenly lights would go on, music would blare, curtains would open and close.
No.
He then also, she'd have a male companion over and she'd get a FaceTime from him saying, put on camera the guy that you have in the house. Can you imagine? He had control over everything.
Give me a second.
So if you're going to break your marriage, it's going to end. Get the security system out of the house. But apparently this thing was like completely installed in the build of the house. You know what I mean? Like this would be a big deal to take out. And he knew what he was doing. He was like an IT guy and he could figure out the system and control it all.
There must be a way for her to reset that, like with a password.
There's gotta be something
I
that
would
they can
think.
do.
Imagine though, not even thinking of that.
And the one back in Winnipeg, I forgot about this part. Do you know what they also found? Hanging outside the house, an HDMI cable. So that for the cameras in the house, he could go over and hook up his like laptop and stuff to it and record it that way and be outside her house watching.
Why? If you're estranged, why do you want photographs and film of your estranged partner?
Stalking.
Yeah.
It's stalking.
But like, why do you want to watch them have sex with someone else? I don't get it.
To get you all worked up so that you can, I don't know. These are abusive men.
I would say, yeah, maybe if you would have watched this, get some pointers, we wouldn't be estranged. I'm just saying.
Coming up after this, that was a nice segue to a cathedral.
Yeah.
Stephen Mallinger is here from St. Luke's Cathedral, and we're going to talk about the new pipe organ they're getting from Germany.
Ooh.
Very exciting, and the amazing fundraising work that they've done at St. Luke's. So,
terrific.
Yes, we've got good news coming up in the community after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Another runner in the night, blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche. Another runner in the
I am joined in the studio live by my friend Stephen Mallinger. Good morning, Stephen.
Hi, Tim.
Nice to see you. This
Great.
is your first time. I've never interviewed you before.
Not on TV, no.
Yeah,
it's great.
Have I interviewed you elsewhere?
Well, at the Fall Festival last year.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, welcome to ONNtv and Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Thank you.
We've known each other for a very long time. We've worked together on multiple shows with the Musical Comedy Guild and the Sault Symphony. You've been the musical director. I've been the stage director. We have fun together.
We've had a lot of fun together over the years.
Stephen is also very, very gifted musical family. Stephen, your wife, Anya Mallinger, is the first chair violin for the Sault Symphony.
She's the concertmaster of the symphony.
She's a concert
fantastic
master.
Violinist.
She is, well, and comes from a lineage of amazing musicians.
Yeah.
Her father?
Her father's William Maid, a fantastic pianist who won an Order of Canada for playing the piano.
I love that story.
Yeah.
And your children have all grown up with music in their lives. 5 beautiful daughters, singers, violin players, pianists, the whole thing, eh?
And we're a granddaughter now.
You got a... I didn't
We
know
do,
that.
yeah, I forgot to
Who
tell
had
you.
a baby?
Our oldest one, Erin.
Hey, Erin, congratulations.
She's 16 months old.
You're a grandpa now.
I am, yeah.
That's so cool. And Stephen is also the choir master and the organist at St. Luke's Cathedral.
Correct.
Right, which is that beautiful church at the corner of Brock and Albert.
Correct.
Recently, though, what happened? Your organ went kaput.
Well, a week before Valentine's Day in February, the organ failed, and we investigated getting it repaired, but it was beyond its usable life. So it's
How old was that organ?
1970, so 48 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you figure that was, you got a good life out of that organ?
We did, yeah. Oh, yeah. They got
Gave
a
it a
long
run
time
for
out
its
of this.
money,
Yeah,
eh?
absolutely.
So what happens like that when something like that happens? Do you have backups in the cathedral, or what else did
Well,
you have?
we have a small organ upstairs at the top that we've been using in the loft.
And that's also a pipe organ?
That's a pipe
But
organ
it's
too.
a smaller one?
Yeah, that was built in Germany, Hamburg, Germany, in 2012. So
Oh,
it's-
that's relatively new then.
yeah, it's 6 years old.
Wow. What was the cost on that? Do you remember?
That was around $85,000.
Okay, so that actually was on the low end of what you're looking at now, because to replace this 50-year-old, well, whatever, 49-year-old pipe organ, this is a rather more substantial investment.
This is $258,000.
What?
This is $258,000.
Holy organ! And this comes from where?
Well, this is built by a company in Germany called Rudolf von Beckerath, and they've built...
That's fun to say, isn't it?
Rudolf von Beckerath. They've been building organs since the end of the Second World War.
Ooh.
They built probably close to 500 instruments.
And they also, were they the same ones who built the one that you have in the
They
choir
built
loft?
they built the one for us in
$85,000
2012,
one?
yeah. That's
Okay,
right.
and you like, that's a nice piece
Oh,
of
it's
nice
a beautiful
instrument.
organ. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's a great organ.
So you know you're getting great quality.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything is custom built, handmade, everything.
And you obviously,
factory.
are you responsible for doing all of this research, Stephen, to decide what instrument goes in there? And
Yeah, pretty
where you
much.
buy
But we've
from?
had a lot of dialogue with the people in the church, so everybody's on side with
Everybody's
it.
on side.
Yeah.
And you have great success with this company. They're reputable.
Oh, they're fantastic.
So
yeah.
how what size? I think we have some pictures actually of what the organ is. This is the organ. Oh, now this is one of the new. This is a newer one, right?
Yeah, these are CAD photographs, so
CAD meaning
computer automated design.
Okay, so this is a sort of a mock-up then of what?
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's a mock-up. So what you see in front of you is...
Is that over the front doors of the church?
No, this is to the left of the pipes is where the choir sits. So it's up and behind the choir,
Oh, up behind the choir. Okay, what's the
so-
next image, Michael? Bring out that.
and that's on the opposite side. So the
Oh.
choir sits divided on two sides, and this is on the opposite side.
So wait, this is substantially bigger than what you have now, isn't
yeah,
it, Stephen?
yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
Okay, next picture, Michael. What's the next one?
This is the console. This is the key desk where you.
Oh
you
my
play from.
gosh, that's gorgeous. Oh, Wes, is that much wider than what you have too right now?
No, it's the
No,
same size.
really, eh?
Yeah, it's just it's quite compact.
Now I think the next picture is the organ that's up in the choir loft.
That's the organ we currently have upstairs.
So that's the one you bought in 2012.
That's right.
By the same company from Hamburg.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the name of the company again?
Rudolf von Beckerath.
I like this. I just want to hear you say that over and over again. Okay, so amazingly, your congregation, you needed 260 something?
Well, we're working for $270,000 total price. So the organ is $258,000, and we've set a budget for $270 for unforeseen expenses.
Oh, you also have to bring people over from Hamburg Journey to install it.
Yep, 2 people are going to come over. And they're going to ship it over by ship across the ocean
Incredible.
in crates, and then when it gets here, it's going to be installed and assembled and voiced, and that takes
That's
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So we'll have 2 technicians from the company to install it.
So amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, but anyway, getting back to your amazing congregation, they have raised, now this is mostly done through contributions, generous contributions from your congregation, as well as some fundraising from teas and things like
Ice cream. Selling ice cream. Yeah, we've raised quite a bit of money selling ice cream.
Do you remember how much you raised for ice cream alone?
Well, over $2,000.
That's incredible. So you've already raised $219,679
Correct.
just within the congregation.
in the past 10 weeks.
Now here's what I'd like to say to the community. St. Luke's Cathedral hosts many, many concerts.
We do.
The acoustics in that church are renowned.
Very fine.
Patty Garcher brings her choir in there.
Yes,
you
couple
have
times a
your
year.
you have your choir in there. There are other concerts that happen in
The
there.
Sault Symphony uses the cathedral regularly.
So this is not just used for services. This is a community church.
We are appealing to people who see it and read to help us out.
You need to get another 50 grand. So we're looking to help the St. Luke's Cathedral with this new pipe organ installation. There's a website address we're going to put up that is for St. Luke's for their webpage, and there you can go and there's a drop-down menu where you can do the organ fundraising. Is that
Correct.
right?
Yeah, you can make a donation online and get a
you can
tax receipt for it.
You get a tax receipt for your donation, which is phenomenal. But now also, to help fundraise, there's a concert.
We have a concert on
That's why you're really here.
Saturday, November 3rd, in
Okay.
a couple of days.
That's this Saturday?
That's this Saturday, yeah. So we have 9 performers. Do you want me to tell you who they are?
I would love it.
Okay, so we have Michael Connell playing some Chopin on the piano.
Michael Connell, amazing organist, keyboardist, yes.
Yeah, my wife.
He also conducted a choir, or ran a choir, didn't he, at the Baptist Church, I thought, for a while, maybe.
Well, no, he's at Willow Grove United.
Willow Grove United?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Michael's there, brilliant musician.
Yeah, Michael's playing Chopin. My wife Anya's playing some music, Rachmaninoff, and the music from Schindler's List.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
and that's rather timely, because this is a Memorial Day
It's a
concert.
memorial. We're recognizing the Armistice 100th, so the 100th
The 100th
anniversary of the Armistice of the First World War, 1918.
with this concert.
With this
okay,
concert.
so Anya's playing. Are you accompanying her?
Yeah, I'm playing
so
the
she's
piano
on
for her.
violin
Yeah.
in here. Okay.
So then we have Josh Norling on saxophone and Frank DeResti on the bass, and they're playing a couple of wartime tunes from 1940s.
So you're incorporating some more modern stuff too.
We are, yeah.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got a bagpiper, Laura Strum, who sings in our choir.
Yes.
We've got Michael DeSanto from the university reading some poems by a Canadian poet named George Wally.
Okay, so tell the story about George Wally. He was he's a
George
veteran?
George Wally taught at Queen's and served in the Navy in the wartime, and he was involved in the sinking of the Bismarck.
Oh, whoa.
And he wrote quite a lot of poetry based on his wartime
So
experience.
there'll be some poetry reading?
Yeah.
And?
And we have In Flanders Fields read in French.
Yes?
Yeah. Let's see now. What else do we have? We have, the Dean's going to read a couple of stories from the wartime as well.
Tickets?
Tickets are $20, and they're available from St. Luke's Cathedral, 705-254-7144.
All right.
And at the door, obviously.
And this is this Saturday?
This is Saturday
what
night.
What time?
7:30 p.m.
7:30 at St. Luke's.
Correct.
Stephen, always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Thanks for coming on. We're going to see you again next week because you've got some other stuff to promote as far as other concerts go, because you've got so much going on this time of the year with Christmas coming up. We'll be right back to say goodbye with Luann after this. Stay with us.
I love that too.
I'm lip syncing now. I'm not going to sing any. Only lip sync from now on.
Thank you for watching our Bum Slide Thursday edition.
Hands up, legs up, bum slide down, and Friday.
If you have to take Sault Ste. Marie Transit today, I expect to see you like this on the buses. Bum Slide Thursday. We're sliding right into Friday tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
What's our countdown? Is it time to say goodbye?
15, 14, 13.
I will say goodbye in 10 seconds. Oh, I said I wasn't going to sing anymore. Tomorrow's Friday. Please join us for another great
Please
show.
do.
We love it that you're watching us today. Have a wonderful Thursday. Thanks for tuning in to Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Have an awesome one.